All right, I'd like to welcome everybody to the Delaware County Redevelopment Commission meeting. Today is October 10th, 2024. It's 9 a.m. We can please stand for that pledge. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, Brad, you want to call roll?
Yes, sir. Joan Adams.
Here.
Bryce Conyers.
Here.
Amber Green.
Here.
Angie Moyer.
Here.
Note Michelle Bowders, Rob Kiesling as absent.
All right, moved on to the table business. Anybody have any comments on that, or we just want to leave it tabled?
I'd like to leave it tabled.
Is that all? Do we need a motion and second on that, John? Or?
No, just as long, that you only need a motion removed from the table.
Okay.
Once it's on the table, it stays there until it's removed.
All right. We'll move on to the regular meeting. Approval of minutes on 9/19/2024.
So moved.
Got a
Second.
first and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Cobalt Silver LLC, Delaware wastewater engineer and legal review update.
Yes, we've taken a look at the bid provided by Cobalt Civil. The engineer has recommended approval. We think the bid is appropriate, and we would recommend that the board move forward with that particular bid, particularly since it was well under the engineer's estimate.
I'll make that motion to approve.
Have a first
Second.
and a second. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed?
I think there's a contract that is being signed, and
That is correct.
that work will start pretty
It was
quickly.
circulated to Bryce for president's signature.
All right. Move on to resolution 2024-12, an interlocal agreement regarding Delaware TIF funds contribution request.
Yes, at the last meeting, the board gave approval to transfer funds from the Delaware TIF to the Delaware Redevelopment Commission for all their various projects. And so this is the formal resolution and document to make that transfer. The Delaware TIF has 3 or 4 current obligations out of it that are being paid, and out of that, the remainder of the cash would go to the Delaware Redevelopment Commission. Delaware has established a redevelopment commission. They've been meeting on a regular basis for the last few years. They work very closely with the school. I know they've had and funded 2 or 3 projects with the schools involving the roads and roadway out there to the school, and the Delaware would request that they have the opportunity to control those funds and work on various projects that are occurring in Delaware right now. So they would ask the commission to sign the resolution and the interlocal agreement, and I'll present the interlocal agreement to the town board at their next meeting in November.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2024-12.
I got a first
Second.
and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right.
Also, a motion to approve the interlocal agreement.
Oh, there are 2 there?
Yes. There's an interlocal agreement and a resolution. The resolution is a formal document that says you'll transfer. The interlocal agreement is the agreement that allows the funds to be transferred, and either party can cancel that at a point in the future.
So I can just amend my motion to,
You can just make a motion to
approve
approve the interlocal agreement too. That's
However you want to do it.
I'll make a motion to approve the interlocal.
Okay, I got a first
second.
and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we'll move on to resolution 2024-13, Yorktown Jackson Street drainage improvements.
Yes, this was a concept that was approved by the board last meeting. This is the formal resolution to work with the town of Yorktown on some drainage improvements. You have the resolution that was provided to you. And this is a project that Yorktown would like to have to assist them in some drainage improvements.
Any questions on that? That's the Kamak area, right, Brad?
Yes.
That is correct. Yeah, it's west of Kamak Station before you get this 600 west.
No comments or questions? I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
First
Second.
and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we'll move on to resolution 2024-14 Stockport Road drainage improvements, Delaware County.
Yes, this is a joint project with the Muncie Sanitary District. The residents on Stockport Road west of Muncie have a private road, and there is a drainage ditch that runs parallel with Jackson Street. The bridge is in disrepair, and so since it's a private road, the residents would have to pay for this themselves, but there are not enough residents. There's only like half a dozen or 8 or so residents. So the county worked with the sanitary district to split the cost of putting in a culvert pipe so that the traffic can go to the houses north on Stockport Road. And so this is a joint project with the sanitary district.
Any comments or questions on that one?
I'll make a motion to approve 2024-14.
Got a first
Second.
and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, we'll move on to resolution 2024-15, the traffic study, Cowan and Fusion Roads.
Once again, this was an idea that was approved by the board last meeting. This is the formal resolution for a traffic study at Cowan and Fusion Road to determine what sort of road markings or signals or whatever else needs to be done there at Cowan and Fusion. It's been the scene of some accidents, so this is the start of the process.
I'll entertain a motion on that.
I'll make that motion.
I got a first
Second.
and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we'll move on to resolution 2024-16, 3710 North Morrison Road, Phase 2, specialty earth science.
Yes, the 3710 North Morrison Road was a piece of property that the Redevelopment Commission, through its RFP process, was in the process of selling to the qualified person that responds to the RFP. As part of the due diligence, phase 1 was done, and the phase 1 revealed that a phase 2 was appropriate for this particular piece of property. The buyer has agreed to split the cost of the phase 2 with the Redevelopment Commission for this project. I think Brad had a quote of the phase 2 being
Yeah.
approximately
It's $6,500.
$6,500, which is a really a great price for a phase 2.
The 50%, which is the Delaware County Redevelopment Commission's obligation, as in the resolution, is $6,850.
Yeah,
Which I agree with
13,000
John
for
is a
phase
really
2.
good price.
Yeah, phase 13,000 for phase 2 is really a very good price.
And we have somebody to split it with us.
Yes.
Yeah, if no other questions, I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Got a first,
Second.
second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, we'll move on to the Monroe Township Trustee Cowan tree request.
That's not mine.
Yeah.
That's not
This
yours.
is Leonard Reese, and he's not here, so I will share with you what he provided to me. So I had shared in your packet his request letter for trees. As you know, this commission cut down trees that were heaving the sidewalk in the Cowan area, and those trees needed to come out in order for the new sidewalks to be installed. There was concern in Cowan about trees and, the cutting of the trees, and people didn't like that to happen, which is understandable, but it needed to happen because of the nature of the project. The township trustee, Leonard Reese, as well as Nikki Sherfy, who were both involved with the original sidewalk project request, have asked if this board would consider purchasing 10 trees. It would be 1 tree per yard in this area. They have procured an estimate from a local lawn care company for $416.58 per tree. That totals $4,165.80 is the request for trees to be kind of a final beautification of this sidewalk project that you often undertake in that area. So happy to relay whatever message you want me to relate to this. If you'd like to fund trees, there is sufficient funds in the industrial center TIF districts to do this project.
I don't have any issues with purchasing the trees. My concern is they need to understand it's for trees to maintain. It's been an issue for years out in Cowan and other areas of Delaware County where trees are just that's not the highway department's expertise to be cutting down these massive trees or maintaining, trimming them, that kind of thing. So like I said, I don't mind purchasing the trees as long as they understand it's their trees to maintain, just like you mow to the edge of the road or that type of thing.
Does that include installation or was that just the purchase?
That is installed, that's the tree installation. So I think it's important also, to your point, Andrew, which I agree with, I concur with everything you said. I think it's important that we note that if the board wishes to go through with this, that the board doesn't procure the trees, that the township trustee procures the trees to be installed. So the check would actually go to them once the work is completed. Because like you say, this body is not tree installers.
Right.
Yeah, we can't guarantee them, we can't maintain them, we can't trim them. We don't have those long-term capacity to do that. We're actually prevented by state law from doing long-term maintenance of a project like that.
Any other questions? What does the board wish to do? I mean,
I don't see a problem with that. I mean, we approved the project that took them out to begin with.
good. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Have a first,
Sorry, I'll take the second.
have a first and second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Related to that, I will also notify the township trustee that they need to notify the property owners that this body is not maintaining, the county, this body is not maintaining the trees long-term. This is once they're installed, then the property owner's responsibility.
Thank you.
How about if we do a resolution that puts all that language in there?
And so I think that's
And that way the board can send its message
Yeah.
with the resolution. Okay, we'll draft the resolution for next meeting.
On the next Delaware County Emergency Management request, John? Yeah.
This is you. Yeah, you're up, buddy.
That's John.
Number
Good
11.
morning. For those that don't know me, my name is John Catino. I'm the Director of Delaware County Emergency Management here. I submitted a request for a commodity flow study. The commodity flow studies, what they do is they read traffic flows of what comes through and in our towns and counties. So it helps us better prepare for events of, let's say for this instance, traffic accidents. What kind of commodities are coming through that we can be prepared to have that equipment to mitigate that accident. They do a lot with rail too, but we request that through the rail companies, so Norfolk Southern and CSX. We can submit to them, hey, we'd like to have a commodity flow study with what comes through our town, which obviously you guys know there's a couple trains that come through here every now and again. So with this flow study, we'll get that information as well. It just helps the county and the responding agencies, especially in the small towns, to know what they have coming through so they can maybe start looking at equipment ahead. So we have a pretty robust hazmat team here in Delaware County, luckily, partnered with Chesterfield, their hazmat team as well. So we're pretty well equipped, but it'd be good to know a little bit more. So the funds that it requests to have this done is just out of my budget zone. We just don't have the monies for things like that. So we look elsewhere, i.e. Grants or other funding to help secure these commodities or these flow studies and whatnot.
Hey, John, how are you gonna disseminate that information down to the other local departments after you get that? You gonna have some sort of a
Yeah, so we'll get a report back, and then we have a monthly or a bi-monthly fire chiefs meeting with all the county fire chiefs and including the city. So there's a lot of good information sharing that goes on through there. We have a good working relationship with all the public safety agencies, really. So we would just hold a meeting, just kind of like. So we're also in the process of conducting a multi-hazard mitigation plan update. The multi-hazard mitigation plan is the plan that goes into place for the event like the tornado in Selma in March. Because we had that plan in place, that helped us secure funding from FEMA or from the state for disaster relief, if you will. It just is kind of the plan of what do you do if or what do you do when. It covers anything from debris removal on a county level to evacuation of nursing homes and hospitals and all that. So the commodity flows can kind of be the same thing. We would take that information, share it out to, Albany or Liberty and say, hey, just so you guys know, the traffic that's flowing out of town through Selma on 32 shows more of this or that, so they can kind of look at their equipment and say, you know what, maybe we need to start looking at, highway equipment for semis and tanker trucks and whatnot. So, and the same thing for everybody else in the county. So we would just hold a meeting, to have everybody come in and kind of show them or give them a copy of that report to put with their stuff so they can know and train them.
John, how much are you requesting?
I don't have.
Yes, the proposal in front of me is $25,300 from Sesco Group, Environmental Engineering and Surveying for the hazardous materials commodity flow study for Delaware County, Indiana.
That's gonna be spread across all the TIFs?
Yes, is how I would recommend it, that it's a little bit paid for each of the largest TIF districts in the area to cover.
Have you guys applied for the grant yet, or is that still ongoing?
It was just the grants that we had for this, we've not had any luck with, so we found this company, we're just trying to, this is on our last resort really, so. The grant that we got for the multi-hazard mitigation plan was applied for on our behalf by the state to the federal level, so they hold that money. We just hold the meetings and get all the information for them, and then it's essentially a reimbursement. We pay the bills up front and they reimburse us back, so that's right around $25,000 to $30,000 as well. But that's a 5-year plan. We have to have that updated by the state requirements for my office. So we're at that point. So because there's so many EMA agencies that needed that updated, because we all kind of went in together years ago to do this, we're at that point where there's probably 7 or 8 EMAs that needed a new multi-hazard mitigation plan update. They applied for it on our behalf from the Fed. So they secured that money for us.
Any other questions, concerns?
I just have a question out of curiosity. This says that it would be 8 hours per observation point. Do you have a rough estimate of how many observation points you would have?
That I don't think it was listed in there. It's once we agree to it, we can pick out what busy areas that we have or what we've identified as the busier areas to study and flow, which north, south, east, west, and times of days that, because you can always take into account spring or fall harvest, spring planting or fall harvest. You have more trucks on the road then hauling chemicals or whatnot, so you can always, mostly they do it in the springtime because that's when you do have the farmers in the fields more, so they hire some money. It accounts for all that stuff as well. So we'll kind of, once we determine that we can do this, we'll determine which areas and intersections we want to look at. So.
Are you limited at all? Like, could the cost increase if you
There's
went
a lot
over
of,
like 10 or?
Yeah, there's a lot of add-ons that you can do. It's just like anything else that you buy. This is the basic package includes this, and then you can go up another step for another 5,000 or 10,000 to get, north south and then east west, and, different time frames. So there's still a tier 2 that you can go through to get more captured.
Do you propose that you could come back to this body at some other time if you feel like that there's more that needs to be added to this study?
I would think so. I think right now what they proposed to us is pretty well encompassing. So I think it would capture everything that we need currently. But yes, I think eventually we might look at it and say, maybe we need to come back and look at this, or maybe move to this area or something. So it'll include I-69, State Road 32, 28, 67. So we have a lot of state roads that run through here, obviously. So I think we would capture a little bit from all of them with this plan as it sits now.
Any other questions?
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, I agree.
I'll make the motion to approve the emergency management request.
Second.
We had a first and second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you.
All right, we'll move on to the letter from Westdale School Board. John?
Yes, included in your packet was a letter from Westdale Schools taking exception to the information that was provided to this board at I think it was the June Redevelopment Commission meeting about their sewer system and whatnot. They are asking that the video of that particular meeting in its entirety be removed. They're claiming that the school's reputation was harmed. So you were all provided documents, you were all provided evidence, you were provided the proof that support all this. There wasn't anybody testifying, it was just a report that Ms. Struble made to all of you. And the information that she received was accurate. It came from IDEM, came from Westell's own filings, it came from her communication with the school corporation. And so, I guess I'd like to know what the commission's thoughts are on responding to this. Do we tell them, no, we're not gonna take it down, or we're gonna take it down? What's the board's pleasure?
I absolutely believe we should not take it down.
I agree of the public meeting.
It's our responsibility to make sure that it's available to the public. And my personal opinion is if you don't like statements that are made, you should probably not take action that would cause those statements to be made.
I don't think there was anything defamatory in there whatsoever. It was a statement of fact.
Agreed.
And IDEM has had some issues with Westell Schools to start with, and Westell immediately after the meeting amended their plan to reflect accurate information as opposed to the information they provided before.
But that all stemmed from the point that they came to this commission asking for certain dollars. So in what takes place here, we just don't grant that money without doing some sort of investigating to make sure that we're doing it correctly, which it appears that we did. And like you said, no defamatory things were on that report. I would certainly agree that it stay where it is.
Okay, all right. We will provide a response to Mr. Batt, the school board president, in kind, and provide a copy to all of you. All right?
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you.
we'll move on to invoices. Any questions on any of those? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
A
Second.
first and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We don't have any bond or bought invoices. Any public comment, questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Got first,
Second.
second, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Meeting's adjourned.
Don't go anywhere, go on.